Well, how's it going, guys? Andrew here.
And Connor.
We are here to talk about the 10 films, the top 10 of the mid-year of 2020.
Yes.
Now, some of you might be wondering, well, Connor and Andrew, how were you able to watch more than 10 films?
Like, wait, didn't theaters close down?
Yeah, how did you watch?
Months ago?
I will tell you, in fact, viewer, I have watched 25 films this year.
I believe I've seen 22.
So,
not counting most of the festival films that we watched earlier
I think
this year.
we agreed on one film from the South by Southwest, if we were talking about it.
I believe so. Since I think it technically can be rented right now.
Yeah, I think we watched what, 6 films?
I think 7.
We watched 6 or 7 festivals at South by Southwest, and we're
shout out.
So
look at that video, baby.
Technically, if all those are 2020 films, then we I have seen over 30.
We'll see. Yeah, exactly. That number goes way up.
Yeah.
But yeah,
we both have seen at least 20 films, and the one thing is, a few of these films we rented VOD, through Amazon, most likely.
Right.
Also, Netflix has quite a few that we watched.
Yeah, streaming in general.
So
yeah, shout out to the streamers or streaming companies that picked up these films that were unable to have a theatrical run. So.
Definitely, we will tell you if it was like Netflix or Hulu.
Or we'll let you know where you can watch this
VOD,
film.
like if you had to rent it or not, stuff like that.
Right.
And if you are jumping to just this portion of the podcast. We did, an hour with Caleb and Matt, and we talk about some honorable mentions. I think I'll talk about 1 or 2 more here.
Yeah, I'll have one more honorable mention to bring up, maybe 2 if I'm feeling.
Well, I did maneuver
feeling
some stuff.
Right.
So the honorable mentions I said now, it's like, well, 2 more just got kicked out that I should have meant.
Ooh, 2 more
that were in my top 10, but now they're not. So,
okay. You want to go ahead with those? Should we refresh our other? We don't have to talk about them much. Do you want to refresh your
honorable mentions?
Other honorable mentions?
Yeah. So my honorable mentions.
It was a bit ago.
Pretty much, I would say I liked really 17 out of the 25 films that I've seen this year. I would say
that you've enjoyed.
Yeah, that I've enjoyed. So my honorable mentions would be Shirley, which is available to stream on Hulu if you have it for free. Sure. There you go.
Yeah.
Shirley. Swallow. Okay. You can rent. I think it was $5 or $6 on Amazon.
Yes.
Might be even cheaper now.
You can also pay to watch Shirley if you have that money. So you can pay to support the filmmakers. So.
Bad Boys for Life.
Yeah, baby.
Talked about that. Sonic the Hedgehog. Talked about that. The Hunt. Talked about that. Onward. I think it was an honorable mention for you.
So that's a new honorable mention for
you. Honorable mention.
Okay.
And as well is My Hero Academia Rising. Heroes Rising is an honorable mention as well now.
Gotcha.
So those 2 were in my top 10, but now they have not made it.
Yeah.
So... I recommend those films. My Hero, I don't think you can watch it right now, maybe.
Right.
But Onward is on Disney Plus. The Hunt, Sonic, Bad Boys, you all can rent. I think the Bad Boys you can definitely rent.
I'm sure some of them will be cheaper now that they've been out for a while, but don't expect them to not be $20 or $15 or whatever. So
those are my movies that I recommend you to watch. And so I'm ready if you want to name your last one before we jump in.
So earlier in the podcast / earlier today in general, I gave shout outs to Onward. That was definitely strong. I liked it more when I initially just watched it, and then liked it a little bit less when I thought about it a little more. So unfortunately it dropped a little bit down my initial rating, but it's still solid 6 out of 10, strong 6, light 7. So that'd be one of my stronger recommendations. And then the other one that I want to shout out that originally was in the 10 before being kicked out of the club was Shirley. That's another
Okay.
very strong 6. Like
So was that your number 10?
That was, yeah, because that was the last 6 out of 10 in my top 10.
And there's a movie we just watched that.
Yes,
definitely we both snuck up.
We
there.
will be talking about that late. I'm sure much later in the
much later
portion.
in the podcast. Yeah,
but we don't want to spoil it. So come on now. But surely, yeah. We made a review on it. Yeah. Watch it on Hulu. Plenty of very talented actors in it. It's not for everyone, but
it's definitely not for everybody.
Check it out. It's not a long watch either. No. It's like you could get through it without wanting to rip your eyeballs out if you really hated it. Yeah. So more artsy, psychological stuff. Yeah. So yeah, that's my 2 I wanted to shout out. Other shout outs were in the podcast earlier. Like those are like weaker shout outs, but those are the 2 I definitely wanted to make it known. So
Onward and Shirley. We both said that. So obviously we both like those 2 movies.
They're like, all right, just missed this mid-year. So, and it was a very weak, just by default half. Yeah. Like this year is really rough in general.
The films we're going to talk about, the top 10, they are very good.
We don't know if they're going to make like a final 10 or anything.
At the end of the day, is like if these films, if we would have, some of these films we probably wouldn't have watched just because other films would have been the AAA A-list celebrities, directors, composers, those films would be on top. But like my number 10, I guess I'll just segue into that.
Good old segue.
A Secret Love.
Okay.
Is my number 10, which is a documentary on Netflix. I would have never watched this.
Yep.
I never would have. I don't even think I knew about it. I don't think anybody that I follow on Letterboxd reviewed it. I think you just had it in your watch list.
Okay.
And for those who don't know, it's on Netflix if you want to watch it. I guess it's more of a documentary, so I guess we shouldn't spoil anything because
just the general idea. I guess. Yeah.
It is just these 2 ladies that were born in the late 20s.
Yeah, late 20s.
In Canada, and they just had this connection. And
they met like late teens, I think.
Yeah.
Mid to late teens.
They had this connection that, I mean, you can see where it's going, just was not allowed back in the day. They loved each other.
Yep.
They wanted to be with each other.
This was in Canada, not even the U.S. at this point.
So they fled to Chicago to live this life, and you follow them. I think we assumed it was 2016.
Yeah, the last few years.
Yeah,
it's probably they probably filmed it from 2015, 2016 to like 18. I feel.
Yeah. And we follow them, and just where they are now, and just kind of
very old ladies.
We just explore their lives, and one thing that I thought was just like kind of like taken aback is that they were in the women's baseball league.
Or one of them was.
One of them, my bad. Not Patty.
The older one.
Lori?
What was that her name? Was that her name? Oh, jeez.
Patty and something.
Hold up.
Gosh, we're bad. Terry.
Patty and Terry.
At least I got one.
Yeah.
So she was in the women's league, and I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, women, professional women's baseball league.
Hearing her stories, and also a little soft spot that they lived in Chicago. And at present day, 2016, they lived.
You were like stoked that you're like, oh my god, I know that city. When it was
St. Charles.
It was like we paused it or something to like make drinks. He's like, oh my god, that's that city. I'm like, that's dope.
And so I grew up like I know St. Charles pretty well. So like just knowing that like this story took place around where I was growing up and living, I think just kind of like made it a little more of a connection.
Right.
But this film, it's sweet. It's humble. It's just a nice love tale.
It's like 80 minutes.
Yeah, I think the title is a little dramatic.
That is true. They like. I guess I'll bring it up later. A little foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Go with your thoughts on it first.
I just think like for that title, it didn't feel like it needed to be a secret. It was a secret, but it didn't have the weight. I felt like these ladies
didn't really express it as if it were a secret,
burden or something.
They kind of reference like, oh, this is the point where we came out to our family, and obviously it's much later.
They really
in their lives,
they brush over what you think would be really difficult.
They brush over like the more interesting parts
Yeah.
of their upbringing as people in a couple.
I mean, Patty though, she let's just say she's accustomed to death. So
yeah.
and also another little negative is that just the editing of the film is a little confusing. I think they could have maybe went through like one more viewing of it and decided to pace it out a little bit better.
Right. Or like structure. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
structure. But literally, it's like
It's
less than an hour and a
80
half.
minutes. Yeah.
You're gonna cry. You're gonna want to.
If you're
Gonna want to like
if you're at
call
all
the oldest
close,
person you know
yeah,
and
if you're at
tell
all
them you love
close
them.
to your grandparents.
Yeah, you're gonna want to tell them that you just love them, and it's nice. It's a nice film. I've been talking, so go if you're number 10.
All right. Do you want me to go 10, 9, and then
Yeah,
8,
just fucking
etc.
do your thing.
Yeah. All right. So 10 for me is The Invisible Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
At least it made your top 10.
Yeah. I obviously didn't love it as much as you.
Yeah.
You saw it before me, and you were pretty stoked about it. And I went to go see it with
Eat my words.
with my stepbrother Austin, out of all people, a man that is very squeamish in a movie chair because he just can't sit still. So it's very annoying. But I love him. I'm just like,
I know those kind of people.
He just
though.
has ADHD.
That's my dad.
He's
kinda.
ADHD.
My
so
dad
he's
just
like,
cannot stay still.
please, Austin, you're killing me. It's like not even that long. But anyway, a little tangent there. Love you, Austin, if you're watching. I know you're not, but whatever. Yeah, Invisible Man. I think I made it onto this. Did I make it onto the podcast for this? Not the reaction.
Yeah, I think you made it for the podcast.
I think I did make the podcast. It's been a minute. It's February. But what I can say is there's enough clever and impressive filmmaking from Lee Winnell to keep the film afloat. It's not like the strongest script for dialogue or anything, but you could definitely tell there's enough precision and brilliance and like his mind as a horror filmmaker. He's been with James Wan on Saw. He did Upgrade. I'm sure he did a few other things that I can't really think of right now.
Upgrade is good.
I still need to see Upgrade, but what I've seen from the film is very good. It's like what Venom should have been, honestly, for me. But yeah, very good. If you caught the podcast that this might be attached to, Matt talked pretty good about the shock of the
dinner scene.
The dinner scene, yeah, that's all we should say about it. And yes, that was definitely one of the most like shocking things I've seen, especially in a theater this year. And in a theater, yeah, really like I think she was in back-to-back films on my list. Was Elizabeth Moss.
Oh, Shirley.
Yeah, Shirley was like 11, so this is 10.
Okay, so this was originally number 9.
So she's just really great actress, underrated. I'm so glad, even though she's Scientologist, whatever. I'm really glad she's getting the respect she deserves because I
at least she's getting a chance from moving from TV to movies.
Right? Yeah, so, like I'm not a big TV guy. So
some actors can't get out of there because, like, in my opinion, John Hamm, like
Mad Men,
but like he hasn't been able to hold a.
You don't think so?
Well, I don't know what movie he's been like a main star in that's been really popular. Mm-hmm. He's good as like a side character,
like the Baby Driver or whatever.
Baby Driver, Tag, Say What You Want About Bad Times at El Royale. Like he was like the best part of that movie.
Right.
And they fucking kill him off, but they show his death like 5 times.
Spoiler.
Fuck, dude, I fucking don't like that movie. But yeah, no. So yeah. I'll talk about it later.
No, yeah, you're good. Yeah, so. Elizabeth Moss. Shout out to her, though. Yeah. Love her. And, yeah, I just think it was really, really solid. Really enjoyed it. But number 9.
Oh, here we go.
Your first film on this list. A Secret Love. For me.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
so number 9.
We both
it was higher right after the film ended. And I was like, well, they really didn't go into depth of, like, them as people, really. Like, we don't know anything about them from, like, age, like, I'll say 30 to
70.
70. It's just like, that's like, really,
actually, at the end of the day,
literally half their life, you know?
Besides the baseball for
yeah, what do we
Terry,
know about Patty?
Well, I was like, what were their jobs?
Right.
What do they do?
There's no way they lived off of that. There's no way she made that much money to, like, live off that, you know? So, yeah. It's just like I feel like the direction was definitely the weakest. Like these two women,
they saw a story,
mm-hmm.
but they saw more of like the headline.
Right.
They didn't really have like the article.
They didn't have the juiciness of the article, right? It's just like a shocking clickbait article or whatever.
But that doesn't mean it's not bad.
No. Yeah, it's definitely like enjoyable. Like especially.
I mean, it's in a top 10, so I think watch it.
I think it's higher for me because I literally have a grandmother that I told you about that is gay, that it was originally married, like Patty, to a man, and had my mom, so she had intercourse, obviously, and it's just like she's been with her partner for so long, and they're not as old as these two women, but they will be soon if has decent health. So it's just sitting there watching this, like, it's hard not to think about my grandmother and Debbie. So,
also, this film getting all scary, and you see it in this movie. You see it in this documentary. So,
just getting.
I
haven't had the fear of being old really this entire time that I've been alive.
But this documentary kind of put it in.
But I told you this and like Amor. Michelle Haneke film that we both watched earlier this year. It's just like, goddamn, like that's so brutal. Like it's being old is so scary.
It's a little rough. It's a little rough.
You hit that age, like that soft spot. And you're like, everything goes to hell as an old person. But yeah, watch this on Netflix. Please give it a chance. It'll make you a little teary eyed. It'll make you a little happy because there is quite a bit of happiness towards the end of the film that takes place.
Oh yeah,
and
tears of joy.
Tears of joy and tears of just sadness in general of like the world we live in, and just like them having to hide for so long.
So
very good. Would recommend. What is your 9-8, Andrew? Number 9.
Never, rarely, sometimes, always.
Kind of a mouthful of a title, but. It is a solid title.
It's a solid title.
Context of the film.
For a solid scene that reminded me of another movie that is also on the list.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. I think 9 of these films on my list we've both seen.
Yeah.
I'm not sure together, but most of them together.
So we watched this film after binging another like 20 fucking movies in like 3 days.
Yeah, it was like 16 or 17.
This was the last film we watched, and
new release.
It was a new release because Connor was like, "Okay, we've been watching just films in general, trying to just catch up on our catalog, but I want to watch another 2020 film." And I was like, "Okay." And I think this one just definitely it's topical, and I think that's why like I was a little interested, just getting the perspective of a female director. Did she write this?
She did, I believe.
Okay, so like to get somebody's perspective on female pregnancy when you're in high school and how somebody goes about that. She did. Yeah. So how
I got a text from Jason.
She goes about this with her family, with her friends, with her relatives, and what she does in this film to, figure out how she wants to handle this pregnancy.
Right.
We don't get much backstory. It's more of the
in the moment.
Moment, and that's what I really liked about it, is that it just kind of you're going beat by beat. You open up with this talent show, and pretty much right after that, you just kind of figure what's going on, and you go from small town, very narrow view window to going to the big city and seeing the world around you and having all these different options. And it's, like I said, it reminded me also of another movie that we watched earlier this year where it just felt very real. And this one felt a little more on the dramatic side than the other film did.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that.
But that doesn't mean it's not bad. It just is like, it's like, okay, like this one had more of like a Hollywood-esque feel to it, where it's just like, characters, this might not really happen, stuff like that. But for the most part, I enjoyed it. It is very indie. There's one person in here I recognized. but he's still a nobody. But the two leads, they're literally nobodies. And so
truly
watching
girls.
their performances is pretty raw and pretty awesome because the scene with the title is pretty powerful, and she has to convey a lot of emotions based.
It's a long take.
Yeah. Based on just these 4 words. And I enjoyed it. I was going in thinking I wasn't going to enjoy it, but then I think once we got to New York, I was like, okay, I think I'm going to like this.
You meant like up to that point? You don't think you were super feeling it?
Yeah, I was just like, I'm like, And like, I mean, like, obviously, if you're pro-life, this movie's going to be, you're not going to like this movie. So, because this is a lot of...
Shout out to the pro-lifers out there.
Yeah, this is, sorry, but like, this is definitely independence is what this movie is going for. And that women have the right to have their voice, and if they're not ready to be a mom, they should have that
Especially
choice.
Teenagers.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I enjoyed it. I would watch it, you know, not right off the bat, but I would definitely, I would view it again, but it's nothing crazy, you know. It's a movie. It's happening, and then it happens, and the way it ends is I liked how it ended. So that is my whatever number that is.
That was your number 9.
Number 9. I'm gonna check. I'm pretty sure. I'm really bad at when we do this kind of.
Did you make a list on Letterboxd or something?
Yeah, I have my list here. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
So that's my number 9. Number 8.
Yes.
Another Netflix film.
Oh my.
Probably like the biggest right now.
Yeah.
With
Okay.
just the director, Spike Lee.
And the scale of it.
The Five Bloods.
Yep, coming off the backs of Black
Klansman. And really, just like we stated in our initial review, coming off the backbone of all these protests and Black Lives Matter, literally the end of the movie is that.
Similar to how Black Klansman ended.
Yeah, but like literally, like I'm pretty sure they filmed that last.
He filmed it
a week ago when the movie dropped. He filmed
while
it like a week ago.
This entire climate is going on.
Yeah. So, I mean, we talked about it really well in our review. What we liked about it, what we didn't like. There are definitely some like really intense moments that are good, and then there are some that are just like, oh, this is really bad. But
there's definitely more sloppiness in this film. I feel.
Yeah, it's definitely it. But at the same time, like there's
more risks.
There's an amazing fucking performance in the third act. We need to, what's his name?
What's the poor man's name?
I know his
name is Delroy Lindo.
Delroy, dude, you are going to not get accepted at all for anything.
God. Academy, I'm looking at you right now.
But like I said, I was invested in the first act.
Right.
Second act, it lost me. Third act, I was like, that paid off.
Yeah, the second act is definitely, I feel, the weakest for sure.
So like literally, you know, the way how they find what they're looking for, how they find it, I was like, really? That would be like
option. It's pretty pathetic.
I was like, that would be option 1. But I would want you to come up with 20 other fucking options, because if that's the best idea you had to find what you're looking for, that's kind of sad.
Right.
Like it just was very.
It's very cartoony.
Yeah, it was almost like it was just like kind of like a Bugs Bunny kind of thing, just like goofy as hell. Like,
all right, Spike, whatever.
But like we talked about it definitely. That was like our longest review of that one. I enjoyed it. And yeah, like
It's a beefy film.
It's a beefy film. Like it's hard for a rerun because it is like almost 3 hours.
Right.
And Black Klansman is it's more entertaining.
Yeah, it's more straightforward with its message.
What the message is going for.
Like the satirical aspect of the situation. You know.
And this one is just, especially in the third act, which is the best act. It just kind of. It loses itself, which it's trying to do. It's kind of blending all of what the film has been trying to tell, and you know, in the actual documentary footage, and with the story that's trying to go, and like the political statements that Lee is trying to go for, just all meld together in this third act. And for the most part, it works. There is some goofy things, but I enjoyed it, and so
involving a walking scene for sure.
Yeah, It deserves number 8 for me.
All right, number 9 and 8, very solid. Well, my number 8, I believe it is, right? We're on 8 for me. Is Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always.
We're just flip-flopping here.
Yeah, I was pretty excited about this because it got quite a bit of buzz coming out of its film festival. I believe it was Sundance.
Okay.
It was definitely this year, so I'm sure it was Sundance. But definitely plenty of love coming out. And definitely, I've been such a big advocate for needing more female directors out there, just letting them have their shot, because we definitely need more chances for them to blossom and be
But that doesn't mean
beloved.
Disney. Don't hire them for the next Marvel movie.
Right. It's like
Eternals.
You could give. Yeah, Chloe Zhao is amazing, and I'm glad she's getting paid, and that's pretty much going to.
I'm glad you're getting paid.
I'm glad it's pretty much financing her next film with Frances McDormand, so that's coming out this year, hopefully. But anyway, this is Eliza
Because like
Hitman.
Hitman. I know it began with an H.
Eliza Hitman, not Eliza. My bad. Eliza Hitman. I believe this is her first film. I could also click on that. And no. Okay, yeah. That's how I know her. She did this indie film called Beach Rats.
Okay.
It's got like this cover, if you've seen that, or a
I have
poster.
not, no.
All right. I knew of it. I knew people like were watching it and stuff like that. I just haven't had the chance to check it out. But this is definitely like her most acclaimed and like appreciated film in general.
So she's only done 2 then?
She's done other things, but like super small. But yeah, like you said about the 2 performances from our girls, although they don't have a lot of chances to like truly shine and show how, like
You would be shocked if
competent
this
they
is their
are.
first credit though.
Right. It's just like, yeah, which is nice because it adds to the realness and the rawness of the film.
Yeah, if
It's
this
not
was
like these big names
I was
or
like,
whatever.
if this is Jennifer,
Like Haley Steinfeld
Lawrence
or something like
yeah,
that.
It's like,
Yeah,
I wouldn't
it's
believe
just like,
this. But
okay, like this is a good role, but so hopefully they're able to get more work down the road. Hopefully this is a decent coming out party for them. But yeah, I could say my favorite aspects of it is just the story and like the narrative that this needs to be told. That like just the links that a teenage girl has to go through to like get this done. They're not very wealthy. They don't have a lot of resources.
yeah,
And her little town, the clinic gets it wrong with like information regarding her pregnancy.
when their test
Yeah.
is something that she could have just gotten at the
Yeah,
store.
you just get out the store. It's like, really, this is it? Like,
that
damn,
you shouldn't go there.
Aren't you certified doctors? Like, shouldn't you have better testing here? So it's like, it's just really unfortunate how this country treats these decisions.
Yeah.
And
Oh, geez, the video.
and yeah, it's just I would say my I don't think we did. Yeah, we didn't do a video for this for a reaction or anything. But I guess my biggest like flaws with it is that it's like nothing amazing visually, really. It's very just like indie and raw and stuff like that.
There was no,
which
like,
I can appreciate.
There was no shot that was like, whoa.
Yeah, but this is a very like dour like situation anyway, so I don't want it to be like glitzy and like whoa, look at these sweeping whips or whatever, shit like that. But yeah, I mean, like I wasn't blown away as much as other people were, but I can definitely appreciate it and recommend this to about everyone. It's a slower film if you can get through that, but other than that, yeah, very solid work.
Yeah.
So my number 7, it should be, is another film in the same order you just did, was The Five Bloods.
Dude, we are like on fire right now.
by Spike Lee. I promise you, I did not touch this list while we've been filming this. Everything's been before. We went into our corners and did our list really quick and came back and we started the video. So The Five Bloods, we did a reaction to this. Very excited about this. I think from what I remember, you didn't know that this was going to be a Netflix film coming in, like that Spike Lee's next film was a Netflix film.
No, I mean, I didn't. I we reacted to the trailer, and I think that's when we found out it was Netflix.
Right.
And I think I was kind of shocked. I was like, "Oh, Netflix picked this up." What?
Yeah, like from the start of the year, I saw that it was picked up by Netflix. So I guess they were really on top of that after Black Klansman, And they gave him the budget. This is a pretty decent budget. I think it was definitely way more than Black Klansman. So
I mean, they filmed on.
I mean, it looks like it.
So,
Yeah, like
at least for the most part.
He shows off his director like pure like talent directing in this film.
Yeah.
Not saying he doesn't in other films, but
Old boy.
there's a much larger scale and like more attention to detail with the technical aspects of this film.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I could say this is definitely sloppy and just in general, but with sloppiness comes bigger risks that are taken. Like he definitely wants to test his audience with some themes and his decision making in the script.
You can tell that he was so just involved and passionate about the story that he was just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go crazy.
Right.
So
like that, it could have been touched up, in the final few drafts. I don't think he was the only writer for this film.
Yeah, I don't think he was. I think there was like 3 guys or something.
Yeah,
like
when you bring in these, especially the main character, a lot of different
viewpoints.
Yeah, mental psyches. Like why he thinks the way he is and why his current view on his country is the way he is after going through something like Vietnam and seeing one of his brothers get shot and killed in a specific way that we eventually see. But yeah, I mean, I wish there was a little more depth for some of the other guys, but this is definitely heavy. Like we don't get it initially. At first I was like, you think it's the guy with the daughter. You think like that's like initially when the film starts.
Yeah, you do.
You think it's going to be that guy. And then we get introduced to everyone else, and then we see his the actual main character. Is it Delroy?
Yeah, Delroy.
Delroy's character. That is actually like he's getting a little bit more. He's a little more brash. He's more outspoken about certain things. Mm-hmm. He's more. He has like more of a nightmarish vision of like this country, and its people than the other guys. He's definitely been more affected by what he's had to go through more, where these black men shouldn't have had to fight for this country that doesn't even fight for them.
That's definitely a big takeaway. From
that's
this.
Literally that's why Spike wanted to make it, and I'm glad he did.
Yeah,
because this is definitely a narrative that, again, just like never, rarely, sometimes, always needed to be said and be put out into the world. Necessary narratives.
Yeah,
that's the takeaway.
The Five Bloods is a modern day anti-war film.
Yes. So. It's all from the black man's perspective.
It's about time.
So yeah, great inclusion of imagery from like real life and footage, stuff that you wish you wouldn't see normally, but Spike wants you to see, and it's important for you to see from both sides.
Yeah,
Vietnam and America. So yeah, I can congratulate Spike for making another really solid film, even though I didn't absolutely love it. So I just think the sloppiness catches up to it at a lot of moments in this film.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that was my 8 and 7.
All right, so
yours is 7 and 6.
7 and 6. So this is the film that I knew I was gonna have in my top 10, but Connor was not, which is The King of Staten Island.
Okay.
Coming in at number 7.
Okay.
I liked this movie. I thought it was fun. I enjoyed it. And I mean, Connor brought it up, about maybe 3/4 into the movie.
Yeah, it's really not even like a third act. It's like, I was like, oh, is there 40 more minutes in this?
Yeah, we paused it because you went to the bathroom or something. We had to pause it for some reason.
Did we?
And you were just like, oh man, there's 40 minutes left. And I was like, you're not enjoying it? I was
like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm enjoying it.
I was enjoying it. Like
I definitely liked the film, just to be clear.
Yeah, he liked it. It was an honorable mention. But
it's an honorable mention somewhere in this video.
Like, I do say, I think you could have trimmed off like 20 minutes.
Yeah,
which would have made it feel like a lot smoother.
A Judd Apatow movie doesn't need to be almost 2.5 hours long. for sure.
But this was kind of my introduction to Pete Davidson. I hadn't seen I've seen a few SNL skits, so I don't know. I thought he was a funny guy. Like I was like, dude, you're kind of funny. Like I kind of want
definitely a decent first impression if you've never really known about hhim.
Just like some of the dude, the funniest part was, but he's like, I'm looking for my watch. I lost my watch. I don't know why that was so funny, but I like
just him as a character. Like that's just the embodiment,
But I like the story. I liked all the cast. Bill Burr was really good. He was in it a lot more than I thought he was. And there were really like sweet elements of it too that just kind of like just it's I love coming of age stories, and so seeing this, it is like a slow burn coming of age story. Like it doesn't really start becoming a coming of age until like the third act, where they're like, oh shit, we gotta go, like we got a movie here. There is a lot of just people having conversations, and but I enjoyed it. Yeah, there's nothing spectacular. The directing, nothing like that. No standout performance. But it's just at the end of the day when the movie ended, and I was like, you know what, it was a nice feel good movie, and that's usually how coming of age stories are. You kind of just feel good afterwards. So, nothing crazy to blow out of the water, but I would show my friends. Like I would show Jacob and David if they wanted to watch it. I'd be like, yeah, I'd watch it with you. Like I enjoyed it, so I'd watch it again. So
I'll show. It's definitely a Friends movie.
Yeah. So I will say 6 through 1. I highly recommend these films.
Okay.
So 10, 9, 8, 7, they're really good. They're obviously in my top 10, but 6 to 1, you should watch.
For sure.
Coming in number 6.
Number 6. What's it gonna be?
Which connects to my number 9, if you are keeping track. The Assistant.
Okay.
Coming in at number 6 here. This was a film that Connor told me we should watch. And I was like, okay. It was a gamble. It was about the time when Matt was coming home, and I'm like, okay, maybe this is a short movie. Maybe we can watch it before he comes home. So we start watching it. And we're watching it. And I'm like, huh? Okay, what's going on? We're about 25 minutes into this movie, and she's been moving around the office. And so we pause the movie. And we do something, like we eat or something.
Yeah, I think, we definitely did something.
Yeah, we paused the movie.
We made food or something.
Yeah, and then we came back and we watched it, and then the plot started kicking in, and we started realizing what this movie was trying to say. And then towards the end of the movie, I was like, I think this is going to take place in one day. And then the movie ended, and I was like, it took place in one day. And now
one entire day.
And now I really understand what the movie was trying to go for. What I said with never, rarely, sometimes, always, that's really annoying to say that.
It's very long, yeah.
And it's kind of almost like a tongue twister. Where that movie, it took a very serious topic, put it into a realistic situation, but added drama to it.
Yeah.
This movie, zero drama. This is just, this is
very
almost real life. There's nothing... Everything that happened in this movie, I was like, this probably happens.
It's not
on
blown
a daily
out.
Basis.
Yeah, not blown out of proportion or anything.
No. You just have
look at this.
You have this little assistant.
Yeah.
She's, 100 pounds.
What's the actress from Ozark?
She plays Ruth from Ozark. I can't remember her name.
Her name is Julia Garner.
Julia Garner. She's wonderful. Again, Ozark season finale. Disappointed. Anyways, so she just plays this assistant for a production company on the paper side, on the business side, not on set. And, she does everything. She's the first person there. She's printing out everything for everybody on the desk. She goes into the boss's office, cleans it up, and she picks up an earring. And, this new person gets hired. They're like, who is this? And it's kind of like this good looking girl. And they're just like, and these two other guys are like, what's going on? And don't watch the trailer.
Right.
Don't watch the trailer. It's
going blind.
This movie is very dry, but I think you should watch a review because we both this is a very important film.
Watch Right Letter Media's review too.
Yes.
They're really good at it too.
Ours first though.
For sure. Priority. Come on.
But I would say this is a very important film. I'm so glad I watched it. I highly recommend it. My only reason why it's not higher is the sole fact that like it would be hard to watch again because it is very dry.
Yes, yeah, it's not like a repeat viewing, but it's a necessary one, at least one.
I was about to say there is
know?
one scene that is like a scene in the other movie that I'm not going to say the title again because it's too long, but the pregnant movie.
Never read it.
That I was like, okay, this is what the message was.
Right.
This scene right here, we were thrown into the situation.
Like, yeah, it's sort of like a similar scene. It's just another person that we don't see again, and it's like the
and
big
she is
scene,
in such a vulnerable situation, and we're trying to support her the whole time, but as her, we are just getting beaten down by these questions,
right?
And by just
the reality of the situation.
I'm just like, and this also connects to another movie that both are going to be in our list.
Okay.
About people not believing somebody and standing up,
right,
and saying, you know what, I believe you. I'm going to, do something about it. Instead, it's like, you're wrong. Don't think about it. So the assistant, at the end of the day, you're going to hate life. But I recommend it. You have to rent it on Amazon. It's like $5. So
$5. What is that?
What is that? A Little Caesar's pizza?
Dude, that's a $5 foot long if those were still available. Come on now.
Little Caesar's pizza.
Yeah.
Anyways,
honestly, I'd take the pizza.
Yeah, that's my number 6. So
number 6. So you gave me 7 and 6 just now.
Yep, Staten Island and.
All right, I gotta go 6 and 5 then for me. Number 6, I found that'll be up a little higher on your list.
Oh no,
The Gentleman.
Oh, that's okay.
It has been up there for a while.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like as soon as COVID hit, and I went.
Foreshadow to my reaction.
There's like a week. There's been like 2 separate weeks. The first one was Kobe. That I didn't watch anything. I just couldn't watch anything.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
And then the second.
I remember reaching out to you because I remember you were just.
The second week
distant.
was just the state of the country. I don't even think George Floyd even happened then. I think it was literally just COVID.
Oh, hell no, yeah.
I was just so depressed. I can't watch movies. That won't make me happy. It won't like make reality go away. I just straight ass a week, whatever. So like there have been times throughout this 6 months that I'm like, this movie would stay there, and it's just because I haven't watched anything. So it was higher, and then I watched a few other things, and now it's still pretty high. I mean, it's like middle of the list. Yeah. So anyway, The Gentleman, I was on the reaction for this, I believe, because we all went to go see it in theaters.
Yep.
We watched, like that Matt said early in the podcast, that we watched Snatch before we watched The Gentleman. And
that was your first. That was your first.
That was first time watching Snatch. I haven't really watched a lot of Guy Ritchie movies. Then we watched Layer. Was that? No, that was Matthew Vaughn. Never mind. Layer Cake is Matthew Vaughn. But anyway, sort of the same. Kinda.
That was good.
Snatch is just way better. So, but Snatch is just so entertaining. Obviously, not as good as Snatch for me. The Gentleman is, but you can see how like all these years later. He still got it. He still got his.
And it's
how
nice
he approaches.
That he got to do it.
Yeah, like this. Like
if there's anything about Aladdin that's good, is that he got to make this. So
maybe that financed this. Yeah. There's always like a silver lining when it comes to these giant Disney movies.
One thing that Matt didn't bring up, which kind of figured, but like the cast is just fucking.
Oh yeah,
so good.
They're just so entertaining. Like Charlie Hunnam, I really don't care in general. I know you liked him in King Arthur or whatever.
But in Papillon. I liked him in that too.
I think he was in something that I kind of enjoyed.
I want to see The Lost City of Z. He's in that.
Okay, I haven't seen that. That's same James Gray of Ad Astra.
I want to see that.
Shout out to Akshay.
But
he enjoys him.
Yeah, Matthew McConaughey is great too.
Yeah, I don't think he was as like one of my favorite.
No, stand out. Say it. Come on,
Oh God, what's his name?
Come on.
Oh my God.
Come on.
Fucking rom-com boy.
Hugh Grant.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't watch Hugh Grant movies, so it's like
neither
whatever.
do I.
Well, he's great in Paddington 2.
Yes,
so Paddington 2. He's great.
Who's the villain of Paddington 1?
It's
Come on.
The actress I think is overrated.
Come on,
Kidman.
There you go.
There you go. I don't know. It's late, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, it's late.
But yeah, really funny comedy. There's plenty of jokes that land. There's enough energy. The guy. It's like it feels like a Guy Ritchie movie. So there's plenty.
Also,
of
if you
energy.
love film, You're gonna love this.
Oh yeah, it's like way more just like meta than I was expecting. I'm like,
I was
wow.
really shocked about that.
I was just like, what the fuck?
Especially when they go to Miramax at the end. I was like, what the fuck is going on? What the
hell is happening? What? But anyway, yeah. I mean, you go back to my original thoughts. They're way more fresh than they are now. I haven't seen it since. Obviously,
yeah, I definitely.
That was in January.
Yeah, I'd like to watch it again.
One of the few January movies I actually like over the last decade or whatever. January's. Hey, good thing about the only silver lining in this is that all the award shows got pushed, right? And their like thresholds are like at the end of February now. So maybe we're in for the greatest January of all time. And I'm kind of pumped for that. I'm not going to lie.
That's great.
But that's if, everything goes back to normal. So,
I would like that to happen.
Yeah, we're really banking on that. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
But yeah,
The Gentleman.
I feel like most people would enjoy it if they gave it a shot,
Yeah.
I don't think it did great in the box office, maybe because people just
think it did.
forget that Guy Ritchie exists and that he's still a director. So yeah, I'd say, is that my favorite comedy? Probably, technically, it's probably like more of like a comedy, right? You consider?
I would say it's like a crime comedy.
Yeah. It's sort of like, it's like Snatch, just not as good. So.
Yeah,
That's my takeaway. But it's still very good. I definitely recommend it and watch it again.
I mean, it's what, your number 6?
Yes. So number 5 for me.
Here we go. Top 5.
The Assistant.
Oh, look at us.
I know. Now, The Assistant was a little lower on the list for a while. Still the same rating, but I'm like, the more I think about it, sure, it's not my favorite watch, obviously, but like in terms of just like I think The Gentleman had a much more better time watching, and because it's just entertaining.
Like, it's the importance.
But this, I think just the importance and like the overall message outweighs that for me in terms of these like 2 films, for example. But The Assistant, Kitty Green. She is mainly a documentary filmmaker. This is her first narrative film, I'm pretty sure. And what a good narrative film it is, because like Andrew said, it feels so real, that it does feel like a documentary in a way. You're just following this woman.
How she sets up her shots,
these
definitely.
intricate things around the office, doing these tasks for all these people, printing shit and stapling shit and putting shit on their desks.
And just cleaning.
And just like busting ass just because she wants to make it in this industry.
Yeah.
That I don't want to spoil because I want you guys to put the puzzle together yourselves. But I will agree. I was like, I'm appreciating the visuals, like in the beginning, like the first 30 minutes or so.
I think it's around minute 25.
Like, this is really shot well. I really like the look of this film. Hopefully it comes home soon, for it to be set up like this. And now, like on a rewatch, I feel like I'll like it even more.
Yeah, probably.
Because now I know I'm like, we might have missed some details that we thought were like, whatever, push it to the side. Because like it's just like
the rules. Just the rule of film in general is that you have to have your inciting incident within like the first 10 minutes. This movie definitely does not do that, and that's okay. Not every movie has to do that, but I just want to tell you that it takes almost an episode of a TV show,
right,
to kick the gears. So like to put it in perspective, like 25 minutes of just literally watching this girl do mundane tasks.
And if you want to rip your hair out, I completely understand.
But we promise you it's good.
Patience is key with this film, and it will pay off if you pay attention and understand what she's trying to do here.
Yeah,
Kitty Green, that is. So, great performance from your girl from Ozark. There's really no other like outstanding performances outside of her.
Oh my gosh, Patrick Wilson.
Oh my god, great, best cameo of the year in my opinion. I didn't watch Bad Boys. I don't know about the cameos or whatever.
Michael Bay was pretty cool.
But definitely a great film and a necessary film.
Yeah.
And I completely agree with you on like the parallels of like never really, sometimes always, and all that jazz. So give it a shot. If you could just handle dry films in general, definitely check this out. If you hate everything that's slow and is boring and nothing happens, then give it a shot. Maybe you might like this. Probably not if you think it's like forced agenda or whatever, even though it's the right agenda. But yeah, really awesome. Really loving that film more as time goes on, I could say. So.
Yeah.
All right, you
Definitely.
got 5 and 4, right? That's you.
Yep, 5 and 4. So number 5, this is the South by Southwest film that we watched.
Yes.
My darling Vivian.
My darling Vivian.
This is a documentary about Johnny Cash's first wife, Vivian.
Yes.
And the one who pretty much birthed all of his children. So, going into this film, I know maybe like 8 songs. Like really know 8 songs of Johnny Cash. I have seen Walk the Line.
You have not seen Dewey Cox.
I have not seen Dewey Cox, but you have not seen Walk the Line.
I'm the inverse. I've seen the mockery of his life, and I've not seen the actual biopic. But watching this film, I'm glad I haven't seen Walk the Line, because they bring up some points in this film about that film. So
it's still a good biopic.
Okay, I'm still gonna enjoy it. I'm sure it's lovely.
Performances are great.
I love James Mangold.
Yeah,
and
James Mangold's
and
a good
Joaquin.
director.
So
And Hollywood's gonna do that anyways.
Right.
Anyways, that's not the point.
Anyway,
of this movie.
yeah.
The point of this is Vivian. It is this woman who just fell in love with a man who did not
for the man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that he is.
She did not see what was going to happen. And she loved him so much that she stuck with it. And in the long run, it didn't work out, but she never had
Her story.
Yeah, her story told.
Yeah.
And she always still loved him.
Yeah. She was always perceived one way.
Yeah.
In general.
She was...
When really, in reality. Yeah.
She was pretty much, played off as this really bad person.
Yep.
Because everybody loved Johnny Cash.
And, June.
Yeah, and June Carter.
Mm-hmm.
They loved them as a couple. And who wouldn't? It looked like a great, Southern American couple.
Yep.
And so, this story is told through the eyes of their children, because Vivian is no longer here. And so it's just told through their eyes and how they connected the pieces as they were kids. And I thought it was really fascinating.
Right.
I think because, and they had nothing, it's hard. Johnny Cash was huge,
Right.
And it was around that time with Elvis, these were the superstars. This was your Ariana Grande and your Justin Bieber, pretty much. Right. These were
It's hard to picture that, but that's literally how big they were.
Yeah, they were just they had their own TV shows.
Yeah.
They were in movies, all this stuff. They were huge, and so for them to be with their mom and have their dad off doing stuff, and having women and men showing up in their lawn, crying out his name in the middle of the night, it's been a minute since we've seen the documentary, but I did really enjoy it. I don't know if you can watch it, but just I don't know, just seeing her life, and especially in the later years, when his fandom died down, when he got old. And there was definitely some heartwarming connections. But there's just some stuff where you're just yo, June Carter, fuck you. So
right. You always need to hear both sides of the argument before settling in on one.
Literally June Carter says something and I'm pretty sure I said fuck you.
Yeah.
Just because I'm just
I definitely was feeling the same way.
You suck.
It's all right, June.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed it. Number 5 for me. Hopefully you can find it somewhere, or hopefully maybe a streaming service picks it up.
You can rent it somewhere. I'm not sure on Amazon, but it's definitely, if you want to go out of your way to watch this, you can watch it.
So
and support it.
Number 4,
Number 4,
I would say, is The Invisible Man. The Invisible Man. Like we said earlier in this almost over 2-hour podcast.
We don't even know how is this going to be structured after it's all said and done.
We don't know what's going on.
Yeah, who knows? Caleb, it's up to you, buddy.
I was not happy for this film. I love
trailers, baby.
I love the original Invisible Man. It's not my favorite. The Wolfman is my favorite.
Yeah, you're
Universal
definitely more
film.
into the original Universal monsters than I am or whatever.
So I love the Wolfman, but I would say the Invisible Man is probably my second favorite Universal film.
Yeah.
And so when I heard it was getting remade, I was like, huh. But initially, Johnny Depp was attached to it.
Yes.
And I love Johnny Depp. I just love that he's a good man. So, when I heard he left, I was like, well, that sucks, but okay. Like, let's see what's going on. And then, this girl, Elizabeth, whatever, gets hired. And I'm like, okay. And then this guy gets hired. I'm like, I don't know any of these people. What's happening here? And
what the fuck's happening here?
Then I see, like, the first poster. And the poster's really cool. It's like the handprint on, like, the whatever, the glass. I'm like, okay, like the Invisible Man, I get it. And then I see the trailer, and I was like, what the fuck is this? This is fucking awful.
Don't ruin my Invisible Man.
I'm like, this is stupid. This is like dumb. I'm so mad they're ruining the name of the Invisible Man. And then it's getting like, 80% on Rotten Tomato. Everybody's loving it. All that stuff. And I'm like, well, I definitely wouldn't have seen it if it was rotten.
No.
But the fact that people were liking it, I was like, fuck it. I guess I'll go see it.
A good Blumhouse movie? Yeah. That's fucking rare.
And I fucking loved it. So it's number 4.
You got to eat some humble pie.
Dude, it's fucking delicious. I love eating it. So
your movie pie.
I don't want to say much because you talked about it. Everybody talked about it. It's a fun movie. There are a lot of just really intense moments. I think the score is awesome. That's one thing we didn't talk about. The score. Because you have that electric little buzz in it. And so like when the camera, how the director staged a shot and you're like, is he there? Is he there? And then the camera slowly.
You never really know.
The camera's slowly panning. And you're like, is he there? Oh, we're still panning.
Yeah, it's like
is he there?
The feeling as if that is him.
Yeah.
But that camera is looking for him,
Yeah, it's like, which one is it?
Yeah.
Is he the one panning the room? Yeah. Or are you panning for him? And then the music also helped because, like, you're hearing his suit. So you're like, huh? So it's really good.
Right.
I really enjoyed it. The ending, though, definitely, I was like, what you trying to do, Blumhouse?
Pretty weak climax.
What you trying to do? Especially, like, the shot where it just was, like, this grand, epic music. And I'm like, what are you trying to do?
What's happening here?
Yeah, I did not care for it, but
I think the final act was definitely my least favorite of the film. So.
Yeah, but I would say like a solid,
great build up.
It's great.
Yeah.
Up until when it starts raining is when it kind of just.
Yep, that's for me. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is kind of.
It's still fine.
Stupid.
Like I was just like whatever, but like up to that point, I'm like, okay.
I was like, wow, okay, now I can't love this film as much as I was hoping for, but it is what it is.
So that is my number 4.
Okay.
Jump into it, bad boy.
Oh baby, that means I get to do my number 4. So my number 4, a film you just talked about, My Darling Vivian. So there you go.
Dude.
That's number 4.
Can we have one that is the actual same, though?
That's true.
I don't think...
Oh, that's true. Well, we'll compare it after this, but...
I think we might have one.
Yeah? Whatever. All right, anyway. So number 4, My Darling Vivian. Go just check out our South by Southwest video, just in general. I'm sure it's the last film we talked about because it was the best, maybe? Maybe it was early on, actually. I think we structured it differently.
No, I thought we structured it from... least the worst. No. We did.
We like bounced back.
But I think we saved the worst and the best for last. Because I wanted to talk so much shit on Cat on the Wall. And then we talked about
So it probably is last. I think we talked about it last.
Yeah.
But anyway, time codes for if you're interested in that video. Cat on the Wall. But yeah, My Darling Vivian. I was expecting this to be one of the better films because A, it's a documentary. It's less room for like being awful. And B, definitely looked like obviously I haven't seen the trailer, but it looked like it had potential to have enough of a director that like took his time with the subjects and the interviews and like wanted to make a cohesive like portrait of who Vivian was and who she really was, and like how the media has just like bombarded her and ruined
it's really sad.
her image for
oh my gosh, especially
millions of people that don't even know who that person is, Kind
of like one of the big staples is like her skin color. Like that was crazy.
That was ridiculous.
That was like, wow.
Yeah, that's just like the South being the South
at
like that time. So, but anyway, yeah, definitely more of a professional approach to like a clean approach to like documentary filmmaking, like There's no
It
risks.
was very squeaky clean.
Yeah, it's like a very nice biopic.
You would find this on the
biography documentary.
Well, I was gonna say you would find this on like the country music channel,
right?
You know, like
just like much better than like your bad like TV things, but the subject and like how it's presented, you know, which like other people might be like, oh, you know, it's just like a boring other documentary or whatever. But I enjoyed it because I got to learn so much about this woman from her daughters. I think they're all daughters, all women that now can look back at like how the world treat their mom, who has done nothing but provide and nurture and care for her daughters, and even Johnny for like her entire life, even though Johnny was a rock star and like started to be distant often from his family or whatever. So I just appreciated just like someone wanted to set the record straight basically for Vivian's sake. That was super nice of that director. I guess I could just give you a shout out personally. Matt Riddle Hoover.
Wow. Riddle
Hoover.
Riddle Hoover.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's
didn't really do much other than that, but shout out to you, buddy. Good job.
Hell yeah.
Keep making more documentaries like this and you'll have a career. But yeah, really enjoyed it.
Number 4.
Really awesome. Was that number 4 for
yeah,
me?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Number 3, something we watched a couple hours ago. Maybe 2 hours ago.
2 hours ago. Yeah.
Maybe 3. Well, I guess we finished maybe 2 hours ago.
Fuck, it's 1 a.m.
Athlete A. We're almost there. Don't worry.
I know.
I got to drive after this.
Yeah,
Don't forget it.
You better text me when you get home. Be safe.
Thanks, Dad. Anyway, Athlete A. A Netflix film.
Netflix on fire, dude. That's 3.
Netflix. Ba-bam, baby. I think this is my last Netflix. Maybe not technically, but I didn't watch one of them on Netflix. Anyway, Athlete A. I knew what it was about. Larry Nassar. It's gonna like mainly be centered around him, and like if you know who he is, you know who he is. But Athlete A, yeah, for the people that probably don't watch sports or just like into sports, because like it's not even like sports, it's like gymnastics or whatever
over here.
So
me,
whatever. Anyway, so what I thought would just be a lot of women's stories and narratives about Larry's actions. It actually turned into way more than just that, you know, and the documentary does a great job of that. Not just him, but the organization that protects him.
We compared it to Spotlight and Darkwater.
Basically, yeah, Spotlight, like bringing down not just the people, but the house, you know. Bringing down the house is definitely what's needed to bring change and like,
which is why
bring it to the public eye.
I connected to the assistant.
Yeah. So there you go. Yeah, I caught that connection earlier. So yeah, this mainly follows. The film starts out following Maggie Nichols, a gymnast that was unfortunately stripped away from her dream because of
for the 2016 Olympics.
Yes, in Rio, and it starts out with her, and we come back to her quite often. But
there's a huge chunk of the history, though, which is very important.
Yeah, like there's plenty of, but nothing feels like it drags or like they focus on something too long.
I was kind of like sad.
Like I was literally like focused in the entire time because I didn't want to miss any details I wouldn't have known otherwise.
But also, like when it ended, I was like, "Fuck!" I could have watched easily like another 20 minutes, probably.
I mean, this whole thing, Larry is pretty much done, but
it's still happening.
The house is still slowly crumbling.
Yeah.
You know, it's not officially squeaky clean yet, you know, like restructured or whatever. But what this film does great is put a spotlight, no pun intended, on their journalists and how this little newspaper in Indianapolis, sort of like how Spotlight from, I believe it was Boston.
Yeah, Boston, yeah.
And just like these people getting this information from one of its subjects about this horrible thing, and it is their duty to gather as much evidence and information that they can to make it cohesive enough to the public to where they can expose it for what it is, you know, without it having any loose ends, basically. And I couldn't remember how many girls exactly that came out against Larry Nassar and the U.S. Gymnastics Association in general. But when we get the numbers and it gets worse, like as it goes on, it definitely hit harder for you because that was just like, it's like you're watching it in real time, basically. Whereas me, when that came out, I was just like, it's just like losing like a little bit more faith in just humanity as a whole. You know, like how could someone be like this? How could these people do this sort of thing? So yeah, it's definitely, there's a few gripes that I would have with like just some cheesy like editing and stuff like that regarding computers and just like comments on certain subjects in the film.
It didn't leave an impact, so it's like, did you really need it?
Yeah, it's just like, okay.
Because the majority
it might leave an impact for old people, but it's just the internet. It's just like, don't look like you're you know, like
we know how the internet works.
Outing your age, you know, like
we know how it works.
Yeah, don't come out and be like, yeah, I'm old. Here's your proof. But yeah, I mean, like, if you can't appreciate this film for just how like moving and just like powerful, and in some ways it is definitely like, there's like pretty much the climax of the film and just like the uplifting moments and empowerment moments for these women is just like, it's done in very good taste with like the score and the editing and
how
the
it was
pacing
really
is just
well.
like really great, and I appreciate the filmmaker for that. Filmmakers John Schenk and Bonnie Cohen. So great job. Like, this isn't higher rated because I knew about it, like which I guess is just for personal sake. I knew somewhat like the gist of everything coming in, so I appreciate the amount of detail they put into the journalism side of it. So that's like my biggest takeaway. Definitely watch this film. We were talking about it after, like, no one's gonna watch this film basically because it's a documentary. It's about
it just
gymnastics.
came out.
It's not about football.
In the top 10 right now.
It's not about basketball. It's not about whatever. You know, it's about gymnastics. And it's like we only really watch gymnastics.
And I think it's a
during
great
the Olympics or
conversation
whatever.
piece. Like, we were talking for easily 30 minutes, and we could. We could have kept
probably,
going.
Yeah, probably even a little bit more than that actually.
So,
But yeah, like, this will make you angry and upset after you watch it. But it's a necessary angry and upset, and that's the biggest takeaway I could say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think 4 and 3. So I'll say my 2, and then we could both do our 1s at the end. So
Okay, so I'll do my.
So you'll do 3 and 2.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it. That's right.
So number 3.
Number 3.
Athlete A.
Okay.
We got one.
Oh, that's one?
We got
Dude,
one.
My man.
Athlete A. I'm not
go.
going to say much because you pretty much said it all.
I wanted you to say more because you didn't know much more about it. Not a whole lot about it.
Okay. I guess
I don't want us to ramble, but, you know, you did have a different perspective coming in.
for me, I had no idea what this was going to be about.
Mm-hmm.
It just showed up on recommended on Letterboxd.
I'm glad you kept pushing to watch it, though. You're like, yeah, let's watch Athlete A. You
Well,
kept bringing it up, you know.
You told me it was about, you know, a molester in like the Olympics, and I was like, that sounds really interesting.
Yeah.
So I like all day today.
Interesting for the wrong reasons.
He wanted to,
you know?
he wanted to watch another movie, which I feel bad we didn't get to watch.
No.
But-
It's totally fine.
Okay.
This was definitely worth, like,
So
this whole day has been
it's been good.
lots of emotions throughout the day. So it's like, whatever. So it's totally fine.
Watching it unfold and just like, you know, the history of this certain area of the Olympics and this ranch that, you know, these people from Romania.
Widespread of pretty widespread of like time too.
Yeah,
you know?
it starts in like
A lot
the
of
70s,
footage, yeah.
and it goes to 2015 of like the Olympics, but it goes to 2018, 19 with the journalism.
Yeah, so the ranch.
But yeah, like, you know, you're just learning the history of the ranch, and you're learning the history of the trainers, and you know, seeing a lot of the footage of the doctor. You know, he had all of these video guides for other people so they could like learn how to, like, you know, train like him, and how he, you know, perfects these, you know.
He's a very good doctor, but how he uses his knowledge.
Yeah, it's very
for the
scary.
wrong reasons. Yeah, it's very. It's just like disgusting in real time what he's actually doing.
And like the moment that broke me was, I think it was just some news reporter like said that like, you know, he had molested girls to the age of like 13. And like I have a little brother who's 12, but like just thinking of that age, just like, I don't know, it's just fucking gross. And I just don't know how somebody could do that for so many. Oh God, I'm tearing up.
Oh, you're good.
Just how somebody could do that for so many years and just be okay with it and have a wife and have kids and have a fucking autism camp and run for fucking like principal or whatever what he was doing.
Yeah, it was
in his
like
community.
board of education or something.
It's disgusting, and he was an evil person. But then like we were talking about it, how he's like just the tip of the iceberg, and like he's awful.
The house is underneath.
But the house is even worse.
The house of people that allow this to go under the rug,
and the
is
whole
equally as guilty.
It's just it was rough, and like it's definitely a movie I think people need to watch.
Yeah, just like, although it's not like groundbreaking since the story's out, it is just like, this is the reality, and these people that had to suffer through this, but are now courageous enough to talk about it and be open about it.
And like the courtroom scene
is
just like, holy shit, it was just awesome.
There's plenty of footage you could watch of the courtroom scene of the courtroom period involving Nasser that you could enjoy.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed
Bittersweet,
this.
I would say, is better.
Yeah, bittersweet, because it was long overdue.
Yeah.
Because the
film builds up quite a bit.
I think like the first complaint was like in '97, right? Like that was like the first official complaint.
Yeah, the first official complaint.
Yeah, so
because he started working early '90s.
Like that was like, dude, that's like when you were born. If you think about that.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
Yeah. And he's been doing it till 2016, I believe, or 2015.
15. He retired in 15.
But 2016.
No, but he kept doing it at his house.
Yep. It gets worse. Just when you thought it couldn't get worse, it gets worse.
Anyways,
but that's good documentary filmmaking, and that's why it's moving and powerful.
And it's on Netflix. Everybody owns Netflix. Fucking watch it.
Fucking watch it. What are you gonna do? It's better than half the movies you pick on Netflix anyway. So like, what the fuck?
It wasn't in the top 10, which made me really pissed off. So
yeah, it just came out. Like, give it a chance, man.
But yeah, so that's my number 3.
Number 3.
My number 2, which it could be your number 2. If not, it's your number 1 because you haven't said it yet.
Okay, I know what it is.
Okay, so Bad Education.
All right, I know what your number 1 is then.
Oh, whoa, what?
What?
I didn't react to it at all when you said it earlier.
All right.
Bad Education, starring Hugh Jackman,
Allison Janney,
fucking
what's Willie Mammoth,
Blind Spotting,
Rafael Casal,
Rafael,
but Ray Romano,
and others, and this film,
Rafael Casal, baby, shout out.
It's on HBO Max now, so if you have HBO Max, go see it.
Any HBO, you can watch it.
HBO, you can watch it. This film takes place after 9/11, right? Like 2003, 2004.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really early 2000s.
In New York
so
area.
So it was after 9/11?
Yeah, it was after 9/11. In the New York area at a private high school.
Yeah.
And Hugh Jackman plays the dean of students.
Yeah, is it superintendent or is it dean?
It was one of the two.
One of the two.
Anyways,
he's very high up on the board.
This man is beloved.
Yes.
Awards. Everybody knows who he is. Everybody loves him.
Looks great.
And this one girl starts asking questions about this one. I forgot what it was called.
Bridge, right?
Yeah, the bridge. It's gonna help them get to like a college. She starts like, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Do you need that much money? And you're like, oh. I don't want to say much.
She just digs a little further than she should have.
No, it's like journalism. Oh my gosh, look at that.
I'm telling you. Journalism is key.
I don't want to say much because I feel like this movie definitely didn't get, I don't know, did it? Did people watch this movie?
Film people watch this movie.
I know. I guess so the people watching this movie,
your average person probably did not watch this movie unless they stumbled upon it on
my
HBO.
friends have not watched this movie. I guess that's what I'm thinking of. And this movie is
half of this channel didn't watch this movie.
Hella entertaining.
Oh yeah.
The score.
Corey Finley.
The score is awesome.
Yeah, Corey Finley.
The acting is great. Hugh Jackman is fucking fire.
It looks great.
Yeah, it looks great. It's paced so well, and it's so entertaining. Yeah, Hugh Jackman's one of his best performances. Honestly, I'd probably say since Prisoners.
That's fine. But like, this is definitely up there.
Yeah,
I think it's more like an understated performance, but like he gets so much opportunity.
Like,
to do
I guess
other things.
I think it's always a good performance when I'm looking at the character and
Yeah,
I don't
you kind of
recognize.
lose the actor.
I
Exactly.
don't see Hugh
That's
Jackman.
a good performance from like a high level actor.
Yeah.
You know?
So it's really good. It's awesome, and
It's funny.
it's funny.
It's dramatic. You know.
I am kind of like, we watched it so long ago. It is like kind of like,
Yeah, let's watch it again. Fuck it.
honestly, right now.
No. Sorry.
All right, I want to go to bed too.
Had to be that guy. No.
But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I want more people to watch it. I do wish that Caleb and Matt would have watched it with us because I know they would have liked it. But yeah, it's my number 2.
Number 2.
And yeah, let's find out if it's your number 2.
Number 2 is a film.
Oh, it's not.
That's not really a film.
What?
It could be perceived not as a.
Oh, what is this
Film.
bullshit?
It's the only one that you haven't seen, obviously. It came in 10 parts, and it's The Last Dance that was on ESPN. Yep. So why I consider this a film?
Goodness, that's
A, I really
like
loved
10
it.
hours.
Yeah, A, I really loved it, and B, I rated OJ Made in America, which was another ESPN thing, on Letterboxd. So I'm like, all right, well, give it the praise it deserves because it is really good. Not as good as OJ Made in America, but definitely well made.
I'll let this.
You know me.
I'll let this slide.
If you know me, I love sports. Now,
What?
never been the biggest.
What?
Never been the biggest MJ fan. I will admit, even though I love
Okay, you didn't grow up.
Even
You
though I
didn't grow up
love
from there.
UNC basketball, and he played at UNC, I still just like, I consider him the GOAT, to be fair, the greatest of all time. But, I guess I just haven't really ever watched enough of him playing to truly appreciate him as a player, you know?
Space Jam. Come on,
I don't enjoy that film. That probably helps too. So, but anyway.
dude. Hot take.
Yeah, that's Adam. He loves that movie.
Dude, that is like fucking lightning in a
That
bottle.
is literally the 90s personified into a film. That is that movie.
Keep going. Sorry.
But anyway,
I'm just shocked.
I kind of want you to watch it because I could definitely rewatch it. Like, there's 2 episodes that came out every single week. It was 5 weeks. Each one was like 55 minutes, give or take. And just every single episode was just so.
Is it literally his whole life, or is it just his?
It's
career?
not just him. It's so The Last Dance was like the Bulls.
Gotcha.
In 97, 98, I believe.
Okay.
And it's the last dance in terms of all these guys being on the team before, and their last run at a championship before pretty much everything gets rebuilt, basically, because of money. And
money sucks.
Bill Jackson, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, I guess Steve Kerr, but like they give him way more. I know you wouldn't understand because you don't know who this is, but Steve Kerr, he's like the coach for the Warriors right now, and you know how good they are. And although he was the starting point guard later in Michael's career on the Bulls, it's just like, was he really an integral part to the team? So that's like the annoying part of it, I guess, for me. But what I loved most about it, obviously you have essentially 10 hours to work with. But
It's a lot of
heavy
documentary.
Michael in the first episode or 2, maybe it was the first 2, but definitely the first episode of his upbringing. So how they structure it is you start like The Last Dance, like the start of the season, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll do a little thing, then they'll go back. They'll show you like where you are time-wise
Okay.
and timeline-wise. And they bounce back and forth from Jordan starting out, growing up, and then the entire series we slowly come back and forth through his entire career with the Bulls. So we see his first championship, second, third, fourth, fifth. And The Last Dance, will he win the 6th? We don't know. You don't know, because I know you don't know how many he won. So there you go. That's the
know.
that's the
Dude, that's the fucking.
that's the
That's
anticipation.
the hook right there.
So, yeah.
You got me.
I know it's a lot lot of foreign talk for all these like.
I wish I was in the sports.
But yeah, I just love. Give it time; it'll happen. But anyway, I just love that they gave like essentially a full episode, obviously for Michael, a full episode for Scotty, full episode for Dennis Rodman, a full episode for the coach Phil Jackson. Like they have enough. Those are like the big four, obviously, for like personalities and like integral, the integral nature to the organization.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, there's plenty of drama. Like if you didn't grow up with it, like me, and you technically, like you really didn't, like even if you were into sports, you're still like 3 years old or whatever when it's happening. And so just like seeing how much money has just always been a factor, and just how big the Bulls were, and how just much into culture, American culture they were in the 90s, you know, how big MJ really was, how good he was, plenty of footage to use like on and off the court stuff, and just like plenty to really appreciate. And that's like I definitely didn't love this, but I just enjoyed it like so much just as a sports fan. Like every sports fan should watch it. So, and it's enjoyable enough. Kayla watched it, and because I'm like, dude, it's Chicago, you gotta watch it. Come on now, it's your city. And she fucking binged all of it, I'm pretty sure, and rated it and loved it. So I'm like, everyone should watch it if you could split it up in the episodes, which it is, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's on Netflix now because that's where I was like, I don't know if this is technically the last Netflix film that I'm talking about, because it says in association with Netflix. So maybe it's like overseas they did it on Netflix. I don't know.
Interesting that it was on ESPN.
Yes, I was watching on ESPN.
Shocked that like Disney, I was like, it's not like on there, like whatever.
Missed opportunity, I guess. I guess they let ESPN do their thing, really. So, but yeah, that's my number 2.
All right.
A lot to take in what I was saying, but really enjoyed it.
All right, we're gonna say our number one at the same time, okay?
Because we pretty much know what it is for each other.
Should we say ours or what we think ours is, or like what we think?
All right, you want to go with me because I know what yours is.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say yours. You're gonna say mine.
Okay. So for me, number 1.
Are we doing this at the same time?
You want to, or you want to go back and forth? All right.
3, 2, 1. Bloodshot.
The Lodge. Actually, it was my favorite film.
No.
Not by a mile.
Bad Education.
Gentlemen.
There we go. Yeah.
Are you shocked by my number 1?
No.
Okay.
I knew you.
Not by yours, because that was January and it's been the same.
I remember when we watched Bad Education, you were like, this is definitely the best movie I've seen this year.
Okay.
And I remember that. And then I have remembered every movie we watched since then. And I'm like, none of these movies is better than Bad Education. So it's pretty much going to be his number 1. So,
yeah. Yeah, you can take the floor first.
I mean, I love Guy Ritchie. I love his movies. I love his, just the way he
Aladdin
builds character. I hate Aladdin. I will watch that with you, and I'm just gonna fucking.
Oh yeah, I told Andrew
it.
I'm gonna binge all these terrible live action remakes that Disney has done. So,
but
those will count.
Like Snatch, I say that Guy
Snatch
Ritchie.
is awesome.
I say Guy Ritchie is almost like the British Quentin Tarantino.
Okay.
If he would have gotten as famous as him, I think he could have had the potential of being up there as
I think
Quentin Tarantino.
he was definitely promising early on, you know.
He was, I think he was promising early on, and then he kind of fizzled out. But then he got picked up with Sherlock Holmes, which revamped him. And then he did King Arthur, which I enjoyed, but the people didn't like. Then he did Aladdin, which literally he did not do Aladdin. He did not.
Yeah, it's not a Guy Ritchie.
There is like
his name is on it, but it's not a Guy Ritchie.
There was 2 shots where I was like, "That's Guy Ritchie," but it's almost
2 whole
not.
shots.
It's almost not.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. And so, with Gentlemen, like Matt said earlier in the podcast, I don't even know if this is going to be its own thing. This might come out like the next week as like another podcast. This
Let it marinate.
Like trailer, I was like, oh, this is gonna be great. It's gonna be great. And I loved it.
I wasn't looking forward to it. The trailers did not. I'm like, this looks kind of stupid. I was
so happy.
I'm glad it wasn't. I'm glad it was good.
Yeah, and I'm watching it, and like Hugh Grant is just hamming up every scene.
Hugh Grant is definitely the best. I fucking love him.
And
I'm glad he's not like rom-com guy anymore. Like occasionally he is, but like
I loved all the film stuff. I loved how, we would get perspectives of scenes one way, and it's like, now did it really play out like that? And you're like, wait, what? It didn't? And then like you actually see what happens.
There's a lot of switcheroos in this movie in terms of like what you think.
And the ending is just like bang, 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 and it gets a little too much like switcheroo at the end.
There's a lot happening, yeah. It gets pretty quick.
Yeah, it's almost like the producers are like, yo, you got to wrap this up.
Or he's like, all right, give me, just write it all.
But I really enjoyed it. We didn't even mention, but Colin Farrell is also hilarious.
Oh, great, yeah.
That jumpsuit,
jumpsuit, great.
It's hilarious. His
like
boxing,
his like boys.
Oh, the music video. That's pretty great. Especially the end credit scene.
Jason loved that.
But yeah, I really enjoyed the movie. I think it just was like, super adrenaline.
Oh yeah.
Intense, just a lot of fun, a lot of just, violence. Matthew McConaughey, like, I enjoy the man. He can get a little annoying, but I think he was good in this. I think he pretty much plays himself. It's Matthew McConaughey, and so, but it fit in this movie.
Just with a gun this time.
He reminds me of like Woody Harrelson. Like Woody Harrelson just plays himself, and I think Matthew McConaughey is like a serious Woody Harrelson.
Right.
So that's
I can agree to that.
That's how I would look at it. But I think it's a lot of fun. I would definitely buy it if I was allowed to buy Blu-rays this year, but I'm not. Maybe on Black Friday.
6 more months, but
I don't know. Maybe Black Friday. I might K for Black Friday.
I will buy your Black Friday movies for you.
And then I'll just pay you back in January.
No.
Stop.
Anyways,
yeah, The Gentleman. I mean, it's not a perfect rating.
Mm-hmm.
I think all my films for 2020 are 4 stars or below.
Mm-hmm.
4 stars to, I think, did I give The Lodge half a star? Let's find out.
I gave it 1.5.
No, I gave it 1.5. Motherfucker. Why did I do that?
Even though there's no way you disliked it more than me, but that's okay.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, The Gentleman. We got to wrap this up. So
yep. We're right at 1:30, just about. So Bad Education for me. I wouldn't have hoped that this would be number 1 after I watched it. Like, when it was all said and done for the mid-year, I was like, I really love this movie, but it's not a 9. So I'm like hoping for some 9s. Fortunately, that didn't happen. But 6 more months to go. We'll be good to go. Hopefully there's some movies that actually come out. But Bad Education, I could definitely say was like a solid 8, like strong 8 for me. And just the entire time, I knew I was gonna. I was pretty confident I was gonna like this film.
Well, I didn't watch his other films.
Yeah, Thoroughbreds. I always talk about to the guys, mainly because Anya Taylor-Joy's in it, and that's Caleb's girl.
ATJ,
baby. So yeah, I mean, what's not to like? Is Hugh Jackman to Allison Janney? Who doesn't like Allison Janney? Come on, she's fucking awesome.
I Tanya.
Dude, come on. 10 reasons, 10 things I hate about you. 13 reasons why.
She was like in it, and then she was gone.
Literally first like 15 minutes, and like, that's it.
She had like 2 scenes.
That sucks. But anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then all the actors, we just like Rafael Casal was awesome to see him.
Ray Romano, I'm glad he's acting.
And then Ray Romano, that's like being in great films, which is pretty great to see.
The Irishman.
So yeah, he rules in that.
Hell yeah.
But I think Corey Finley. I'm just gonna be looking forward to all of his films from here on out.
Do the score
because he's like 2 for 2.
That's good.
And I believe he didn't even use the same composer. I think I looked it up after I thought he did. I think he did the first score for Thoroughbreds.
Really?
And this is a different guy.
Oh,
but yeah, we're almost done. I promise.
I'm tired.
And so I would say this is just like a really entertaining movie, but is like still a drama, this is still definitely a drama film. And
it's like a drama thriller almost.
Yeah.
Not like light thrrill.
Yeah. It's just like journalism thriller sort of thing.
Yeah. If you're into that, you're going to fucking love it.
So. Journalism drama film. And why I put emphasis on Corey Finley is like I definitely appreciated the just filmmaking of this movie. Just the set design, costume design, makeup and hair. Everything's blue. I just like that. Just like you're rolling with one aesthetic, and that's cool. And just how like real like the early 2000s was in the movie. Like this was definitely like this story took place then. And just like, his shot composition, it's nothing like too crazy, but it's very smooth and it's very solid in his choices
you can still tell
to block his actors in the scene and just to put the camera where it needs to be to create drama, And that's just where I really appreciate him and his talent. So keep making movies, please, because I've looked your chew for chew so far.
Oh yeah.
And now that we bring it up, we should definitely watch it. Probably not right out of the gate the next time we see each other, but once we move in,
we watch a lot of movies.
So many movies.
So many movies.
Fucking crazy.
Also, apparently, The Last Dance. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll wait just when you're ready, because I could rewatch the OJ too, and that's the same thing, just way better. So.
We got to watch a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Documentaries.
And TV though. We gotta watch.
Yeah,
we gotta show you some TV.
God, I gotta finish Seinfeld first. So, but anyway,
and we gotta rewatch Seinfeld.
True.
Yeah. We gotta appreciate it.
And I kind of want to watch Curb Your Enthusiasm with you too, with
so
Larry David.
They just announced the season 11.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that's awesome. But anyway, this has been
the mid-year.
Connor and Andrew and Connor's top 10 of the mid-year,
and
second installment on the
channel.
channel.
It is sad that there are a lot of movies that we would have hoped.
Oh yeah, a lot.
Also we were gonna go to Cannes, so
great.
We had a conversation.
Thanks,
we had a conversation about, do we even are we allowed to have Cannes films in the mid-year list? If that would even been fair.
That didn't even happen.
It's
all good. We'll worry about that next year. Wink, wink.
Yeah, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Hopefully.
First priority, these guys, because we didn't get to go this year.
But. I'm looking forward to, if theaters open up, sadly, just a few of the days, Tenet got pushed, Mulan got pushed, all these movies, definitely theaters aren't opening up in July like we thought they were. So hopefully, in the fall, maybe.
Right.
I'm thinking like September. I think we got to figure out school first, and then we can open up other stuff.
Yeah, go from there.
Yeah. So
think about the kids.
At the end of the day, though, like we talked about after we finished watching Athlete A, there are definitely movies that we wouldn't be watching if we had these mainstream movies to go see. As much as I love the mainstream movies, I'm glad I got to watch Athlete A, because that's something that I needed to know.
For sure.
And now I know. So I'm looking forward to, the small independent films that we end up watching. If we don't get to watch more big movies, I hope we also get to watch big movies. Because I really would like to go to the theater and just sit down into a gigantic black room, pitch black, just a big silver screen, Dolby Vision, if that's even open.
Tenet in IMAX.
Can't wait to show you that. If AMC is even alive anymore.
Right. Maybe not. Maybe we gotta go Regal.
Yeah, that's okay. Knows? At the end of the day, it's okay.
Yeah, we'll see.
But anyway. Guys, if you stuck through this, definitely a lot longer than we thought it was, but a lot of these movies, there was like 3 or 4 of these movies that we hadn't talked about before.
All right, Last Dance for me, then Athlete A, and then Secret Love. And were there any others?
No, that might have been it. Maybe one more. Was there one more?
Never Rarely.
Yeah, Never Rarely. Okay. So
yeah,
at least 3 for both of us, and then one more for you. So, I mean, worst movie of the year, we both said it. Bloodshot and The Lodge are the 2 worst movies this year.
Yeah, Bloodshot was a given, but Lodge was way more of a disappointment. So.
What was my 3rd least favorite film? Oh, Extraction. God, that sucked.
Thank God I did not see that. So
yeah.
Sorry, Chris Hemsworth and the Russo brothers, apparently.
But yeah, guys, thank you for hanging out. Maybe comment down below. Maybe if you made it this far. We should have said this in the beginning.
What's your top 10?
Top 10, top 5.
Hey, if it's a comment, then that means
they listen the whole way. I love you. Somebody please comment.
Love you. Like, subscribe, whatever.
Whatever platform this makes it on. If you can't comment, just comment on a random one and be like, "Yo, I'm here from your guys' mid-year."
Vimeo? What the?
All right, we're gonna wrap this up because you gotta drive.
Oh, show.
I gotta go to bed. So this has been Andrew,
and this has been Connor.
Peace.
It's been good.